Hi everyone, in this video we're going to create our logo. But before we start, we need to know about all of this stuff. In Illustrator and a lot of Adobe programs, we have something called Workspace. And here is our workspace. Here in the center, we've got the canvas. Here we create our logos, images, illustrations, posters, and so much more. So let's go clockwise. And we start at 9 o'clock. The left bar is the Tools of panel. Like in a lot of other Adobe programs, it's placed on the left and it's probably the main bar. Here we grab our basic tools and use them for creating something. For instance, let's open our sample image. File, down to place, and here is our sample image. You will find the link below the video and place it like in previous video. I chose the Android logo because it's pretty simple logo without text, volume and shadow, and it has just one color. We can make this image just by simply using a rectangle tool here with routing corners. The same with arms and legs, and here we use circles and two antennas like lines or rectangles. And the head is the circle that was cropped exactly in the middle. So about the tools panel, here we see the tools, but we can see more, and they are grouped like tools for selecting and editing. Here we've got many tools to draw the object. Simple ones like a rectangle, circle, straight line, curved line. We can draw any lines by using the pen tool, the pencil tool, the brush tool, right over here, paintbrush tool. Here we've got a block with graphs, and we can draw even in a perspective. And of course type tools, paint tools, and special modifying block. And navigate that we already know how to pan across the canvas and zoom in and zoom out. And we're gonna learn all these tools step by step in this course. And let's go to the very top. Here we have main menu, where we can work with the file, editing, object, with the type tool, with selecting tool. We can apply some effects. We can work with view and windows. Here we've got many panels, which we can use when we need to work with the tools precisely. And we use the main menu occasionally. If you need to find something, you can go to help and it will be fine. For instance, rotate, and here is rotate 3D, rotate view, all of this stuff about rotating. So with the help tab, you can find the place where it's placed. For instance, when you open the Illustrator first time, you will see nothing over here. And those who work in Photoshop really like the option panel right up here. And we can find it in the window tab. It's called the control panel. And in this panel, we can work with precise adjustments of the tool that we are using now. Now we've got selected selection tool right over here. And that means that we can transform and align object and change the opacity. But if we click, for instance, on rectangle tool, and let's just draw something. And now in controls panel, we can change the fill, the stroke, and opacity and style and align it and transform it, etc. Now go on the right top corner right over here we see the window icon. Click it. By default it will be set as essentials, so depending on what you are doing you may have a variety of different presets workspace. For example, if you want to paint something, you can choose this one. And all of this stuff has changed. We're gonna cover other workspace, and now I just leave essential. And let's have a look at 3 o'clock on the right hand. This is the properties panel. It's like an option panel, but it gives us more settings. If we just grab the type tool and start typing, we're gonna see here the character panel right over here. And in control panel we have only character and style and the size and paragraph. But in addition to the basic settings, in properties we have a wide range of editing. So let's change the tool, and if we click on the background, it gives us general overall settings for the document. Units are currently set to pixels. I'm gonna choose millimeters right over here. As a side note, if you're working with some web or UI design, you should use pixels. If you need more specific panels, we can find them on the very top in the file menu, window, and there are a lot of panels. For instance, color. So let's close it. Here we've got other tabs. We use libraries very seldom, and let's turn this off, close it. And like in a lot of Adobe programs, we can grab any panel and turn it into a separate window, or stick to any place where we see the blue halo. We can turn it into the icon, and let's just back it to its original place. So layers is a specific panel. It works like in other programs. So we've got an episode about layers. In short, the layers panel is the place where all of our stuff is organized. For instance, this is a rectangle and this is our sample image. So we will back to this panel, and now the last panel on the very bottom. Down here we see how we are zoomed in currently. And here we see the word selection. That means we're using this tool at the moment. Click on this type tool and click on rectangle. This is rectangle. Here you can see the number of artboards. We've got an episode about artboards, and this is just about rotating the whole canvas. Let's just try it. So for instance, 19. It might be useful when you work with something that you need to rotate or to see from another side. So let's set it at 0. And we've done with the workspace. Now let's create our first logo. And let's make it simple. I would like to have kind of this logo. And first of all, we need to grab this color. No, first of all, we need to delete this one. Let's select this stuff and just hit delete. So first of all, we need to grab this color. For that, we need to use eyedropper tool. And we just click on the sample image. Let's go to properties. And we need to save it. We click on fill, and let's make this color our favorite color. We can give a name for that. Let's name it Android. And after click OK, and here's our color, Android, right over here. And the next step here is to change the opacity of our stencil. We need to redraw the sample. And we designers do it all the time. Let's grab our black arrow or press V on your keyboard. This is our selection tool. We use it all the time because this moves the whole object. But now we need to select it. And in control panel, we can change the opacity right over here. And let's zoom in. And now it's time for the body. Let's grab our rectangle tool right over here, or press M on your keyboard and just click and drag the rectangle. And this is white now. We need to change the color. We go to here to colors, and we need to find our favorite Android. This is it. Just click on it. Now we need to round the corners, and it's pretty simple. We're just gonna find the circle inside the corner and drag it towards to the center. And all the corners around it, but we need only the bottom corners. Let's undo last action, Command or Control Z, and we just click on the first corner, and we're holding Shift, we click on the next corner, and just drag it toward the center. This is it. Now let's make arms. Click on the rectangle tool. It saved our fill because we used this color with the last object. In this case, we can round all the corners. Let's just draw it, and we can just pull it towards to the center. This is it. Press V to shift it. We can copy that by using Command or Control C, Command or Control V, and let's place it right over here. To have these rows lines, which can help us to align something, we go to View and just find Smart Guides. Okay, a little better. Okay, let's shift it with our arrows left and right, and we can move it precisely by 1 unit. Okay, let's copy that and place where we have legs. Let's copy that one more time to have our next leg. To be faster, we can hold Alt or Option on the Mac and just drag the copy to the right. Now we need a head. My suggestion here is to create a circle with the ellipse tool. Right over here we have ellipse. And we can make it manually or Command set. We can find the center, hold Alt or Option, and it will grow out from the center. With Shift we can make a perfect circle, but we don't need it in this case. So we need the blank space between the head and the body, and often we use the tool that allows us to cut this part of the shape out of the image. But in this case we need to know how to use simple shapes. And let's just draw the white rectangle. Let's grab our rectangle tool, and after that we just draw it right over the image. Let's change the color. We need the white, so we need the second favorite color, white color. Let's just grab an eyedropper tool and pick this color, and let's just save it. Here we've got active fill color. We click on plus and let's name it white Android. We need it for eyes too. This is it. Let's press V and place it right over here and change the size like that. Okay, let's shift it. Let's make it bigger, just a little bit, and shift it. Okay, and let's add the eyes. I'm just gonna grab the ellipse tool, and with Shift I can create a perfect eyes. With Alt or Option we just copy that, but we need the Move tool, Selection tool, and just Option and copy the next eye. Let's check it. We need to select the head and change the opacity to know where exactly the eyes should be. Okay, we need to move it right over here and this right over here. Now let's back our opacity of the head. Okay, and after that we're gonna draw antennas. Let's choose the rectangle tool, zoom in, and just draw 2 rectangles right over here, and we can rotate it like that. And with the Move tool, with the Selection tool, we can place it right over here, and let's make it rounded. 2 corners, okay, and place it right over here. So antenna number 1 is done. Let's have antenna number 2 reflected instead of rotated and copied. We're just gonna right click on that, and here we need to find transform and reflect. Okay, we can click on vertical and just hit copy. So here's the next copy, and we can place it right over here with the guidelines. So it's done. Let's make our robot a kind of excitement. Let's select all of the stuff and change the place, and let's just give the arm exactly the arm and rotate it like this one. Place it right over here, right click, transform, reflect, and with preview right over here we see how it's gonna be placed, and hit copy. Let's delete this arm and place it instead of old version. And now we need to just turn our sample off. We can find it in the layer tab. It must be on the bottom because when we make something new, it's added up in order. So here is our sample, and let's turn this off. And now we need to save it. Let's select all the stuff we have created, and I'm gonna go to File and down to Export Selection. And let's save it as JPEG file and export asset. So here is our asset. Here is our image. Here's our logo. And here's your homework. Let's open this. Here is the instruction. Just try to make this logo. And both the Android sample and this homework file will be below the video. Just practice any of them and see you in the next video.